Welcome, Gemini, to your reading for February 2026. This is for your Sun, your Moon, your Rising, and your Venus signs, and it is a general reading, so please take what resonates and let the rest go. If this does pique your interest in a private reading, you can click on the link in the description below, which takes you to my booking page, which gives you information and the opportunity to book if you decide to. So let's get going. Gemini, let's look at your general energy, your opportunity, your challenge, your unforeseen events, and your advice. And I'm using the Guardians of the Night Tarot for your reading today. So Gemini, in your general energy, we have got the Six of Swords in the reverse position, which makes me feel that you are in limbo in some way. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place, or you're trying to get past something and you're having difficulty. There's been times which have been unpredictable, for some of you even turbulent, and you can see the clear path ahead and where you need to get to, but something's in your way. There's something stopping you getting there for some reason. So it's difficult. You're feeling a bit stuck. You're feeling like you're stuck between, you definitely don't want to go back to where you've come from because that was tough, and you're just stuck. You're in no man's land. You're between two places. So the Knight of Wands is in your opportunity. This is really the opportunity for you to just be brave, be confident, and just go. Whatever you think is in your way is not an immovable object, Gemini. You can get around this. You can get past it. You can ask yourself, is this real or is it a figment of my imagination? Because this is about determination and seeing past your own limits or beliefs that you can't do something when you actually can. The Four of Cups in the reverse position is in your challenge, which is interesting because this is the card that I always bring up when it comes up, and I say it's one of my favorite cards because it is showing you that happiness is a choice. It's not a gift. It's not something you wait for to be given to you as a gift. It's your choice to be happy, to make the best out of difficult situations, to be happy no matter what situation you're presented with in life. There's always something to be happy about. So that's your challenge, I think, is finding that way back in to happiness. And I'm not saying by any means, Gemini, that you're absolutely in abject misery, because you're not. But there is a tendency here to, very much like this armadillo, to just curl up and shut the outside world out and not have to face reality. Because it's easy, it's comfortable, but it's not happiness, it's not living. And that's what your challenge is here for February. The High Priestess reversed. What are you in denial about? You're in denial about something. This is in your unforeseen events. You're hiding something from, I do think you're hiding something from yourself, but you're also, you know something, and it's almost like it's the one thing you're asking yourself a question about and you already know the answer. And then in your advice is the Hanged Man. All good things come to those who wait, who are patient, who can see past the darkness And this isn't a dark reading. This is actually about understanding that you are about to transition out of challenging times into times which are free and happy, and yeah, I don't know what else to say, so let's clarify. So the Six of Swords reverse, clarified by Temperance, and the King of Wands in reverse. Sorry, guys. Temperance is about finding balance or equilibrium, or doing what you can to maintain balance or restore balance in some way. The King of Wands in reverse is your expectations, the ones that you put on yourself. How many of those expectations are reasonable or realistic? And how of them are unattainable? You need to ask yourself this question, Gemini, because you're so hard on yourself sometimes. And it's like you set yourself an expectation or a goal and then you don't reach it, you don't manage it, and then you're hard on yourself. And then that grows into, well, what's the point? I may as well give up on everything. Not literally, I don't want to sound that dark. It's not that dark. It's just like when you're it's the same sort of energy as if you're in a diet. And then you crack under the pressure, your own pressure, and you have a bag of chips, and then that bag of chips, you just sit there and you feel really bad about it, and you think, just so useless, I'm such a failure, I haven't even got the willpower to not eat a bag of chips. And then you think, yeah, there's no point in even trying, I'm just going to quit at every turn, so I may as well have another one. And the next thing you know, you've blown it. You've undone weeks of hard work. The Knight of Wands in your opportunity, clarified by Justice reversed, and the Nine of Wands. So your opportunity here is to embrace that power, that strength, that passion, because the passion is still there. You're still passionate about something, about whatever this particular thing is that you're determined to achieve. So it's just reminding yourself of that, and how far you've come so far. That's what the Nine of Wands is about. It's saying, look how far you've come. Look what you've overcome so far. You are certainly not a failure or it's like you have to remind yourself of that. The Justice in reverse card is lack of accountability or too much accountability. I'm not sure. It could be a bit of both. And then we have the Four of Cups in reverse, clarified by the Eight of Wands reversed and the Eight of Swords reversed in your challenge. So the easy thing to do is just shut the world out, bury your head in the sand, not face your responsibilities or have to put the work in to undo what you've done. But the Eight of Wands reversed is your frustration, and why are you waiting? It's like you're putting something off, continuously putting something off that you can just literally get up and start now, and you're finding excuses to not do it. And it's not even as if this thing is something you hate doing. You're self-sabotaging, which is not unusual. You know this pattern. You've been here hundreds of times before. And then the Eight of Swords reversed is your self-limiting beliefs, your anger, your guilt. It's just getting trapped in some sort of negative cycle. But you can get out of this, Gemini, because this is just really being open and honest with yourself and seeing things in a new light. It's about separating yourself from your feelings by pretending you're someone looking in and just saying, right, come on, Gemini, let's sort this out, okay? Let's have a heart to heart. Let's talk honestly. Let's have a raw, open, honest conversation. First question. Is this your fault or is this someone else's fault? Your fault. Can you change the course you're on? Yes. Are you willing to change the course you're on? Or do you want to stay stagnant for the rest of your life? You are willing to change the course you're on. You do not want to stay stagnant. Are you going to be an inspiration to people? Can you be an inspiration to people? Yes. It's this conversation, as soon as you personalize your positivity, pretend it's someone else talking to you and coaching you and mentoring you and encouraging you, it helps and it changes. It stops that other negative force coming in and going, yeah, but it's easier just doing what you're doing now. You may as well just turn the TV back on, just enjoy the warmth and the coziness and the, you know. The High Priestess reversed is clarified by the Seven of Swords and the Three of Cups in reverse in your unforeseen events. So this is about, do you listen to the voice that's lying to you, or do you learn to tell that voice, stop lying to me? If you've got anything to say that's worth saying, then hang around. If you haven't, then please leave. Please leave. Stop occupying my space with negativity. You have to be strong with yourself, Gemini. The Seven of Swords is understanding that voice and knowing it's only trying to do one thing, and that's keeping you inactive, subservient. It's trying to, at the end of the day, this negative voice is actually trying to end your life, if you really want to be dramatic about it. It's trying to stop you wanting to live. It's a parasite. That negative energy, that darkness within you is a parasite, and you have to learn to fight it. And then the Three of Cups in reverse is the hardest thing, is getting back out there, spending time with people, socializing with people, invite some people over. Don't wait for someone to invite you out, because they probably know you too well and they're not going to bother. They're going to be like, oh, there's no point in inviting Gemini out because he or she's just going to turn us down anyway, so there's no point. You do the inviting, get someone round. One person. It doesn't have to be 10 people. One person. Get them round. Have a conversation. It doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to be all the me stuff, because I know you won't like that and that's not what you want. But you can just break free from the energy you're in. Have a laugh. Have fun. Ask how someone else is doing, because maybe they're struggling. And maybe that's the key, is listening to someone else's problems and trying to help them. And then the Hanged Man is clarified by the Fool and the Ace of Cups reversed. This is in your advice. So it's going to take time. It's not going to be an overnight success. You're going to have to make some sacrifices. You're going to feel like you're left in suspense. You're going to feel like, where is everyone? But that's okay, because you're being tested. And everyone's being tested. Every day we're all being tested. And when we don't bother heeding the test or putting the work in to try and prove whatever the test is about, then the universe puts us back a year. And we have to relearn everything. And then we start again. And then the Fool is your sense of adventure. How willing are you for a new beginning? How willing are you for new experiences? Or are you just stuck in that familiar cycle of the known, the comfortable, the familiar, don't need anything else, don't burst my bubble? and the Ace of Cups reversed. You have to love yourself, Gemini. You don't have to. But if you want to get anywhere in life, if you want to reach your maximum potential for you, not for anyone else, you're not proving anything to anyone. This is just for you, so that you can say, when you're on your last day on this earth, that you can turn around and honestly tell yourself, I didn't waste any time. I lived my life the way I wanted to live it. I feel happy and contented and fulfilled with not wasting my opportunities. That's really what it's about. And it has such a huge impact on what happens next. Because this isn't it. This life isn't it. You have a whole library of lives to get to. And this is just one page. So let's do your oracle. We're going to do the Revelation oracle. I think I did this last month as well, but it's calling to me. And your card, Gemini, for February is Serenity. So you can still have your peace and your calmness. If that's what you don't want to be disturbed, you want the peace, the calm, the comfort, the chill, that you can still have that and you can still succeed. It doesn't have to be go, 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 noise, crowds, panic, chaos, confusion. It can be peace, serenity, meditation, success. In fact, you'll probably be more successful with that energy. There's no urgency, there's no panic, there's no rush. Just do what you have to do in your own time. Know that what you're doing is the right thing. This isn't about fear of missing out, that you could be doing something else. There's nothing you should be doing right now which would be more rewarding than this particular thing that you've been trying to avoid. So thank you so much, Gemini. Thank you for your love, your support, your encouragement and your engagement that I return to you tenfold. See you next time. Enjoy the journey.